Hi everyone, it's Tara here with Create Life Paper Words, and I am ready to share my part 2 of 2017's weekly family album with you. So for this, for last year, I used the We Are Memory Keepers gold albums, and I've got, this is what doing for my spine labels lately is I've been printing a picture off on my Polaroid zip and then attaching it to a little label, and then I write the year and then the part 1 or part 2 on it. So my goal is to just have 2 albums a year, and yeah, so let's look through it. So the first thing I started off with this fun little, it was from Paisley Press, and I believe it was just a free printable, and it says, I'm a collector of moments of things, songs, photos, notes, conversations, ticket stubs, text messages, and newspaper clippings, bits and pieces of life, reminders of happy days and of hard times, and of everything in between. And I loved this. I thought it was perfect for anyone who is a memory keeper. So all I did was print it out on an 8.5 by 11 and hole punched it in, stuck it in. So this is the first, or the cover page, I guess, in my album. I hope the glare isn't too bad on this for everyone. This is week 27, and during week 27 my in-laws had just gotten back from a trip they had taken, and they sent some really awesome postcards. What was really fun is a lot of these postcards, they got mailed on the same day and they did not make it the same day. One of them actually took a bit of a detour test, so that was interesting. It was actually a lot of fun for us to get them during the month of July. So I just wanted to stick them in because I thought it would be fun for the kids to remember those. I've got a little insert here. In trying to keep with my 2017 word, which was intentional, I would intentionally take self-care days, and so I took some photos of those. Week 28, my daughter and I had a date day, and actually a lot of, oh, move your head back, honey. There, say hi. My oldest daughter and I had a date day. A lot of the photos are from that. Oh, you got it. Just move your head back. This is one of my favorite layouts for the whole year, actually, that I had done. I just really love the colors, and then I just love these 2 photos right here. So documenting some of my gardens. Week 30 was the last full week in July. I do have an insert for that as well, and I had used the wild hair kits to document this week. Week 31 is the start of August. We took a trip up to Calgary to see my sister, and Colin started harvest the week before, so that's why we went away. It can get a little boring when we don't see him all the time. So I have a cute little insert for my daughter, my oldest daughter, and this is from the Ramona oh my goodness, the Ramona kit by Brandy Kincaid, and I really love those photos, and I totally thought that they fit my daughter. So it says, she was a girl who could not wait. Life was so interesting. She had to find out what happened next. And I just totally thought that was Aubrey. And then on the other side, I just took a picture she had started. So it's always so much fun. I love to use packaging and that kind of stuff. So this filler card right here is from a David's Tea package that I bought, and then this one right here is from Una, my sister and I absolutely love their pizzas, so whenever I'm up, we usually have at least one Una day. And so yeah, I just kept the bag it came in and then used it as a card. Oh, and same for this one right here for Alia, which is macarons. Same idea, so these ones right here. So you can definitely, don't feel like you just have to use specific cards. So second week in August, lots of farm pictures, lots of writing. Aubrey needed to get stitches, which was our very first ever stitches. Week 33 is, I believe Christy and I, or Christy from Sweet Girl Designs and I, did an Instagram inspired for this week. Week 34 was actually the end of harvest, so this page is actually the last day of harvest, and that was super early for us. And then on this side I decided to change it up a bit because I had a lot of 3x4s, and so I ended up doing a grid. So generally I pretty much just, I'm going to say 98% use Design A, but sometimes I do like to add some other stuff in there. So. And then week 35 is this one and this one. So I had seen on Instagram, I can't remember who it was, but they had sort of documented with like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they labeled the photos. And I really liked that idea, so I attempted it. I was using a lot of pink for this layout, pink and white and black. And then my oldest daughter, Aubrey, and I ended up going to this fun little Harry Potter thing, so I kept the little menu we got from it. And then on the next day, we went to see Garth Brooks, our oldest two, and my husband and I, and the littlest one went over to my aunt's, but I wanted to document that. This is my, the oldest two's first concert, and it was so much fun. We had such a great time, so totally want to document that. Week 36, I actually just shared this on a process video just recently. I wanted to bring in lots of pinks for this one, just because I really loved this card and this card right here. Those were sort of the inspiration cards. And kids started school that week. Week 37, I brought in a lot of yellows and reds. I've got a little flip page right there. And then I believe Dearly D had a card that was, it looked like this, but she hadn't made it. It came like that, and I really loved it. So I thought I would use up some of my scrap pieces and do that. And I really love how that looks. Stick that back in there. Week 38 is my middle child, my son's birthday, so I wanted to bring in some of the photos from that. I got my hair done. First day of fall, which was absolutely gorgeous out. And then I had bought the Gather the Good, I think is what it was called. It was a kit from Brandy Kincaid that she offered, and I really loved it, so I printed it out and I did just a spread based on this kit, and all my favorite things like layering and boots and scarves and that kind of stuff. So that was a lot of fun. And this week it was also my husband's and my 10th anniversary, so in celebration of that, I did a layout from our wedding photos, and this is actually the first time that I've scrapbooked with our wedding photos, so that was quite fun for me to do. And then this is the other side of week 38. So I guess I can take that out. So I did lots of blacks and whites again. You'll see like the transition is definitely toward black and white for me. Week 39, this is another Instagram inspired with Sweet Girl Designs, I believe. Again, using some packaging from my Starbucks cup there. And it's starting to look like autumn, but we really only get about 2 weeks of like really nice autumn colors, unfortunately. And then this is week 40. So generally I have my week one up here, but this one is a full day and I wanted to keep that all together. So we woke up Monday morning to snow, and then it snowed for 24 hours, and the snow was so heavy that they closed the highway down. There was a bunch of people stranded, so the one school opened up the gym. We got a call at noon saying that the kids, they were closing the school, so one of us had to go pick them up, and we also had the power out for a day. It was a full 24 hours, and I know people who it was out for a couple days, so it was a really fun snow day. And then at the end of that week, we went up for Thanksgiving with my family, and like this is right around Okotoks area, and it's, yeah, like it just gorgeous. So it was crazy to see the snow down where we are, and then not that much longer, you know, it's beautiful. So Thanksgiving. And week 41 is just sort of reds and blacks. And I used a lot of what the kids were doing in this one. They were all drawing me pictures, and Emmy was painting, and I love being able to put those kinds of things in my album. Week 42 was the beginning of Colin's and my trip to France to celebrate our 10th anniversary. I used Ali Edwards, I think it was On the Go or something like that. She had like a little, or a travel journal card set, and that's what I used, and I really love the red and the white. So lots of journaling for this. Emmy made this while we were gone, so I just stuck it in there and did a little journaling on the back. And then just some pictures of our trip. Now our trip extended into the next week, but the next week I wanted it to be about the kids. So I took all the photos that my mother-in-law had sent me for that. And so I like that transition because I've got a full 9x12 album just for our trip. And to put another layout of the trip in there is also missing the kids out of that. So I do like that, how I've set that up. Week 44 is end of October, so Halloween, which is on this page. It had day in the life as well, and I decided to document that digitally and then print it out. So that right there is my day in the life, and I kept the same idea as Ali Edwards in where she was counting things. I did the same thing. I counted things and then and took some pictures and put that together that way. And then just the rest of us being back at home and getting into routine that way. Week 45, we went to a concert that week. Week 46 is my birthday week. Week 47 was the last week, or second last week in November, I should say. I have an insert. My dad came to visit, and so that I just sort of documented our day with him. And the kids did not have school that week at all, and they both ended up getting sick, so it was sort of a crappy week for them. Week 48. Now, this is where it gets into December daily. And at this point, I usually run out of steam and I just want to finish this darn project. And I wonder if I'm going to do this next year and all that other stuff. happens every year. So week 48, I wanted to sort of have my non-Christmassy type things in this album, so like our other stuff. So week 48 is just one 12 by 12 page. And I decided to go with purple for this one. Emmy had done a fun little Santa letter, so I put that in there. And then I've got just the front page of our newspaper as well. I helped out with the school auction this year, and they had done a full front page thing on it, so I thought that would be fun for me to keep. Week 49, again I kept with the purple from this page, and again it's just the one day, or sorry, the one page, not the one day. It's a full week. Week 50 is 2 pages, just because we celebrated Aubrey's birthday with her friends on the 10th, and we did a really fun Harry Potter birthday, and I really wanted to document that for her. And then this is sort of the rest of that week. Week 51, I decided to bring in some packaging, so that is just from a Bath & Body Works bag was all it was from. But I really loved all the plaid, so lots and lots of plaid here. And this is the last week of school, right before the kids are off, right before Christmas. And then week 52 is just 1 page, and I did not take many photos of that week because, again, my kids were all sick, so these are pretty much all from Christmas Day. Generally, I would do 2 pages, and then I would have a cover page on the very back. But because I only did 1 page, I just decided to keep it like this and not worry about an end page. And that is 2017 done. So thank you so much for following along. I've had this issue with this binder where this top one, they always come out when I flip it. Yeah, so thank you so much for following along. If you have any questions or comments, I am so happy to read them and answer them. As always, you can find me on Instagram at Create Life Paper Words. You can also find me here on YouTube, and if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. We will see you later. Bye, guys.